Hey Pipsqueaks, welcome back to my channel. My name is Miranda. If you're new here today, we're going to start a brand new series which you all have been begging me for. I asked a poll on my channel and a lot of you guys said you wanted this. So we are going to start a series about Ed and Lorraine Warren. So this first video I'm going to give an introduction on who they are and what they do. You might know them because they are based in a bunch of famous scary movies such as The Conjuring and Amityville Horror. Today, obviously, as you can see the title, we're going to be starting off with the Amityville Horror. And we're going to go over, like I said, who Ed and Lorraine are, where they came from, why they start doing what they're doing. We're going to go over the Amityville incident, and then we're going to go over Ed and Lorraine and how they got involved in the whole thing. So before we get started, if you guys like this video, make sure to like, subscribe, follow me on socials so we can become friends. Every video we give you guys a shout out. So here are this video's shout out. If you want to be in the next one, all you have to do is comment anything at all down below. And without further ado, let's just get started. So starting off, let's do a little background on Ed and Lorraine Warren. Ed and Lorraine were American paranormal investigators and authors associated with prominent cases of alleged hauntings. Edward was a self-taught and self-professed demonologist, author, and lecturer. Lorraine professed to be clairvoyant and a high-light trance medium who worked closely with her husband. In 1952, the Warrens founded the New England Society for Psychic Research, the oldest ghost hunting group in New England. They authored many books about the paranormal and about their private investigations into various reports of paranormal activity. They claim to have investigated well over 10,000 cases during their career. The Warrens were among the first investigators in the Amityville haunting. According to the Warrens, the official website of their program, several magazines and other sources use a variety of individuals including medical doctors, researchers, police officers, nurses, college students, and members of their group in their investigations. So all of their stories have inspired, yes, inspired, not, they never said exactly the movie is what happened in real life, like the Conjuring series and all that. They are inspired. That's why people get messed up thinking that's not real and it's fake. It was inspired by their stories. So that is a little background on Ed and Lorraine Warren, who they are, and blah blah blah. So let's move on to what happened that made the Amityville Horror. So you see, everything that I read says that the stories and books come after these things happen. The Amityville Horror is one of the most iconic and best known haunted house stories of the past century, following the publication of a 1977 novel about the incident. A film premiered in 1979 that subsequently spawned many sequels, reboots, and knockoff films ever since it happened. So in the early morning hours of November 13th, 1974, a man named Ronald shot and killed his mother, father, and 4 siblings while they slept in their home. Now this is a real place. It's in Amityville, New York. He was convicted for their murders and he remains incarcerated today. Needless to say, with all of his occupants murdered, the house soon became available, and in 1975 the Lutz family moved in. First off, I don't know how anyone can move into a house where they knew such things just happened. That's just weird to think, like, you're sleeping in the same room that there was blood flung everywhere. Just saying. The husband, wife, and their children lasted in the house for about 28 days. Exactly. I don't know why you would try that in the first place. They claim to have been frightened from all of the paranormal activity that seemed to be revolving around the murders. They claim to have seen things such as demons, objects moving on their own, slime pouring from the walls, a fly infestation in the dead of winter, strange voices, and the family being attacked by unseen forces. That would make me move out too. See, here's where things get mixed up because they made these claims and then the book came out and they started to twist it to make it sound better than it was, which is why it gets a bit muddy. After they moved out, obviously hearing everything that happened, the murders, all the paranormal activity, no one else wanted to live in that house. I mean, who would? One of the Lutz sons, Daniel Lutz, has maintained that the haunting took place. He's been questioned and everything since, but he still says he stays true to his word and people can't find a reason not to believe him because he's never once changed what he said. Their other son Christopher has claimed that the paranormal activity took place in the home, but here's the thing, he thinks that all the paranormal activity was stirred up because the dad was doing rituals of some sort. So not because of the murders, but because the dad was involved in rituals. So there's murders and now there's rituals in the house. So now there's tons of investigations on the family saying they claim to have made up all this story just to get money from living in the murder house. Which, if you believe in the paranormal, any house that's gone through trauma like that, I don't know how you couldn't believe there was some type of paranormal activity. Just saying. So it must be skeptics. And now moving on to introducing Ed and Lorraine to the Amityville house. Again, this is their specialty. They're seeing if they're faking anything or not. So when Ed and Lorraine first got there, Lorraine claims she was scared, she was fearful of something, but she didn't yet know what. Like, she just had an uneasy feeling as soon as she walked into the house. So then as they're going through the house, seeing how she feels, because she's a medium, they're both there kind of to protect each other. Like, she can sense and feel the stuff that's there, and Ed can control the stuff that's there. So that's how they work in a team. So when they were going through the house, Lorraine claims when she was walking up the stairs, she felt like a pressure on her chest as if there was like water pushing her back. So they brought their whole team in and then kind of did like a little blessing. They took care of all the energies, and their whole group basically brought in, like, she was carrying a relic, which is kind of like almost a symbol as I have this, so now you can't be here type thing. So she brought that into the house, kind of did a blessing. They all did what they had to do and settled all of the paranormal activity. So fast forward to more recent times when people started making the movies and they started interviewing them to see their thoughts and their point of view on the story, and they were basically asking her to compare Amityville to the Conjuring series, and she was saying how the Amityville she would never go back to. Like, that's the one place to never go again. She would pick that place. She said it was so horrible and uncomparable to any of the other houses. Now remember, they did do 10,000 investigations, and this is the one that she refuses to go to or go back to. So I find that very interesting. That was just the first quick little research on the Amityville. Let me know which Ed and Lorraine story you want me to do next. Do you want me to do Annabelle or any of the Conjuring stories? Let me know down below. Make sure to like this video, subscribe if you haven't already, follow me on social so we can become friends, and I will see you guys next video. Thanks so much for watching. Bye!